We are recording our very first United Strong team call, Thursday, April 29th.
Yay!
Feels so official now.
I was saying to Chantel, oh, there's Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
I was saying to Chantel, I mean, I remember my very first sisterhood team call, and it was like myself, Erin, Courtney, Jennifer's sister Sarah, who doesn't no longer coaches, and Jackie. And it was just the six of us. And it's crazy to see how it's exploded to what it is now. So yeah, you're always going to remember these first moments. And it's like, I don't know, it's just like in coaching when you first start, you're like, oh God, can I do this? Should I do this? But doing the team call and having a separate, chat pod and everything else, I think is a lot better. Because when it gets so big, people just get lost in it, right? And we want to just kind of keep our group small and get to learning more and getting a little bit more connected, I find that way. So yeah, I'm super duper excited that we actually got to do this. So I thought that with our very first call, we would do kind of like an intro. I really believe that it's like, I know that we heard from Clarissa, we heard from Sarah, we heard from Sheena about, your why and why you're in this business and why you're, decided to coach. Like for me, I'll give you a little bit of a snippet. I've always been not always been into fitness, but for the last like 4 or 5 years, I was into fitness. I used to be about 350 pounds, lost a lot of weight in the beginning stages. It's probably been over 20 years. But losing about 100 pounds along the way, I didn't really do any inside work. I kind of just lost the weight, but nothing really ever changed. So Erin and I have been coworkers for almost 20, a little under 20 years. And when she decided to do Lift 4, I was really into lifting. And she's like, you know what, do you want to do this program with me? I said, sure, no problem. I was probably in the most fit shape of my life. And I thought, you know what, for accountability, why not do it? And I did. And that's how I started coaching. I got pregnant quite quickly. Honestly, I really believe it was due to Shakeology that I got pregnant because I struggled with infertility for a bazillion years. And after that, I kind of stopped coaching, but I loved all the products. My mother was sick. And so I kind of just coasted for like a good year and a half. And then I listened to a call from Moira Kasaba, who wrote the Rise Planner, if you don't know. And honestly, she just kind of changed the game in what this business could really do. I really liked HR. I really liked helping people. But the desk job life and after mom life, like everything changed after being a mom. And I think that with that came wanting to explore other things. Like I never really thought about things that I really wanted to do. And with this coaching and realizing how much I really love helping people, I thought, you know what, I'm really going to make a go out of it. And I started really going at it in January of 2020. So my husband, he stays home with my child, and he's a chef. He left his job. He's always wanted to open up his own like meal service or dressing. So that's a lot of my why, is that we are stay-at-home parents and run his business and run this business and be entrepreneurs. Having a desk job life is not really for me, as what I thought, being in the government and that. And while I like HR and the work that I do, I just know that I feel like I could help so many more people feel like how I feel, because it was a long road to feel like I was worthy and myself. So yeah, that's a little bit about me and why I started coaching. And honestly, I absolutely love it. I love being in my inbox and helping other women try and start their journey. So yeah. Chantel, I know Chantel is going to speak, and maybe Danielle, because you never got a chance.
Danielle, would you like to go, or do you want me to go first?
I can go. I just started coaching. I've known Koo for a while online. I don't actually know her in person, but we met in a macros group years ago now. I don't even know how long ago. And then she's semi-close. She's in Ottawa. I'm in Lansdowne, which is about an hour and a half or so. One day we did meet up. So I did get to meet her once. So that was fun. My why, I don't know. I'm turning 40 this year. So that was my big goal, was to kind of be in the best shape as I could be by then, which is in July. So I'm starting to cut her close. So I'm getting a little nervous about that. But I wasn't going to coach. I was never really interested in that. I didn't think. Koo asked me a bunch of times, and I just kept saying no. And then finally I decided, what do I have to lose? So we'll try it. We'll see where we can go with it. I'm not doing great. I don't know.
No, don't say that.
Well,
This starts
slow
with your
starting.
journey more than anything.
I'm a toe dipper. I found out from one of our other calls. So I'm trying to work on that. I did get a daily gratitude book. So I'm and the Rise Up planners in my Amazon cart right now. So I'm trying. I don't know. I was talking to you earlier today about my job. I have a pretty stressful job, and I'm not really homeschooling. Like, my kids are meeting with their teachers and stuff, but I was trying to be here for them. And so it was pretty stressful. I would really like to get out of the stress of my job. And if I could make this work and go in that direction, I think that would be good. So I guess that's a little bit of my why and why I'm doing it. So
no, that's good.
I have like a little bit about me. I've got 2 children, a 14, almost 15-year-old and a 10-year-old, and a husband who's a truck driver. So he's home more now than he was, but yeah, so it's just, would be nice to be home a bit more and not have to worry about my desk daytime job and whatnot.
No, that's good.
All right, that's awesome. Don't discredit yourself, because I know it's like hard when you first start. Like, I kind of toe dipped a lot too. Like, I went through like, yes, I can do this, to completely freaking out like the next hour.
Yeah, I feel like that. It's up and down. One day I'm like, oh, I can totally do this. After a team call, I always feel like, oh, I can do that. And then I feel like I can't. So, well, we'll see. But
the roller coaster of being an entrepreneur, for sure.
Yeah. So I hear, but I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting to inviting people, and I know that's such a huge part, and I have to get out of my comfort zone with that and try to do more of that for sure.
Cool. So I'll go. I'm Chantal. About me, I love fitness. I've always kind of been a bit of a fitness sports playing junkie for like the longest time. Grew up playing or doing like professional, well, not really professional, I guess like gymnastics. I used to compete and do competitions, and I finished like school. I only had taken like a few classes. I did it like distance, so that I could graduate because I was away all the time and traveling for meets. So that's a bit about my backstory. And then had a lot of infertility struggles, gained a lot of weight trying to do infertility treatments like crazy. I gained like 90 pounds, had babies, then I gained another 60 on top of that. And then always kind of struggled like up and down with like, tried all the diets, did all the crazy things that like probably aren't healthy. And got really obsessive about calorie counting and just was not in a very good place for a while. And then, so I was still like, I was basically a gym rat. That's how Sheena and I kind of met, because I took some of her classes. And so I'd be at the gym like 5 or 6 days a week, and I'd always see Sheena there. And then the gym closed when COVID happened and everything got shut down for the first time. And it was really, really hard on me, because I also struggle with depression, anxiety, and PTSD. And the gym was like my outlet to like really kind of like work through that stuff. And when it shut down, I was like really lost. I saw one of my friends was doing these workouts at home, and I was like, what's that? And so I decided to sign up with her. And long story short, she's no longer doing it anymore. So now I'm with Erin, is my coach and Ku's coach. And after about 2 weeks of doing these programs and feeling like a completely new person, I decided I want to share that with everybody because it helped me so much and has made me so much happier, and like just I'm a completely different person than I was a year ago, both not just physically but like in like mentally as well. So these programs just helped me so much, and there's nothing like I can't say enough good things about them, especially with the whole community and like how it's not just about like exercise and like diet culture, and like it's really about like your whole wellness. So I just fell in love with it. So decided to coach. And in the beginning, like I was like a lot like Danielle, I was very like tiptoey, and I'd be like, yes, I can do this. And then the next day, like completely freak out. And so I started coaching about a year ago, I guess I would say last March, but it wasn't until maybe, I want to say September when I actually really started coaching and really taking this business seriously. And I kind of wish I did more in the beginning because I think I'd be further along than I am now, but that's okay. Like everyone's journey is different. And yeah, so that's me.
Yay. Now we all have a little bit of a background of how we all started and, you know, why we're all here. I know that Chantel is going to touch on, like, I know there was only a couple of us on the call yesterday, but we talked about Let's Get Up and the launch, and then the CEO codes. I'm not sure if everybody got theirs, but I know they're trickling in. I got mine. So yeah, Chantal's going to talk a little bit about that and maybe a little bit about inviting.
Sounds good. Should we start with that then, Ku, or do you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, my inviting strategy is I pretty much invite everybody on my Facebook friends list. Like I started off with just inviting close friends and family because that's kind of what I felt comfortable with. And none of my family and none of my close friends, besides like my gym friends, wanted anything to do with fitness and nutrition. So that kind of like was really hard for me at first because I was like, well, like, how am I going to do this? Like, I suck at this because I can't get anyone to do this with me. Total like self-sabotaging negative talk. Don't do that. So then I decided, well, maybe like it's really, whoops, just close my window. There we go. Sorry. That I started inviting from, like, I literally just went through my Facebook friends list from like A to Z. And slowly every day I'd invite like maybe 3 or 5 people from there. I didn't have an Instagram account when I first started. So I started an Instagram account, had very low followers. I just basically added the people I had from Facebook and then slowly tried to grow my account from there by looking for people who had like similar interests through like hashtags and groups and things. Yeah, so more about inviting. So it's really important too to follow up after you've invited somebody. So I will send an invite to whatever like program I would be doing. So right now, for example, Let's Get Up. I'll be inviting to that. It's really important to have like a clear idea of what you're inviting to. And you guys are more than welcome to invite to the same program, like the same bod group that Ku and I are doing. So don't ever feel like lost or like you don't know what to invite to. You're more than welcome to start off inviting to that as well. And then, so inviting can be something as simple, like try and keep it simple and direct and to the point. So I'll say something like, hey, I'm doing this new program. It looks like a lot of fun. It has so much joy and we all kind of need that right now. It's about dancing and kind of getting out of your comfort zone if that's something you haven't done before, and really just all about having fun. And I'm starting on Monday. Would you like to do it with me? And I keep it like pretty simple like that. And And then I'll wait a couple days and then I'll follow up with them and be like, do you have any interest? Because sometimes people are busy, like they won't necessarily reply right away. Sometimes you'll get ghosted. That's okay. It just means that they aren't ready yet. And then after a couple of days, like say if they reach out for more information, then I'll start talking to them more about like what their goals are before I send them all the information and pricing and like landing pages, because everyone's needs are unique and different. So I'll make sure I try and find out like what their goals are, because like Let's Get Up really could be for everybody, but it might not be for somebody. Like somebody might say their goals are more into like weightlifting, then Let's Get Up probably isn't the program for them. And we have lots of other programs that would maybe better suit that kind of person. So it's really about finding like what their goals are. And then also really connecting with them to learn about their pain points as well, like what they've done in the past, why what they've done in the past hasn't worked for them, maybe things that they've done in the past that they haven't liked or that they have liked, so you can get to know them better and know what you can suggest a solution that would work for them. And the good thing about our programs that we have too is they also include like the two different nutrition plans. So maybe someone's more nutrition focused, but not necessarily into the workouts. So you could always go that route as well. And what else? So yeah, I always make sure like I'll keep a running list going. So the easiest way to do that is to just, I find, start with like a spreadsheet on like Google Docs or Google Drive, I mean. And then I'll keep track of who I've invited and what dates I've invited them so that I know when to go back to follow up with those people. And then I'll usually only send the landing page after they've asked for like more details or pricing. And I'll also be really clear about like what is all included. Because I find a lot of people sometimes when you first invite them, they'll be a little confused about kind of what you're inviting them to. They want to know usually like, are you like, is there a specific time I have to be online? Because there's a lot of like online classes right now. So you need to like be really clear to let them know that like they can play at any time. And that the price that they're paying isn't just for just the one program. It also includes the whole like BOD library of programs as well, which is like a huge value because it's like way cheaper than what I was paying for my old gym membership to have like all of that. And then they also too with the codes that are coming to offer those, like I'll usually, like when you get to talking to someone, you'll know what, if their pain points might be like price, because it might be kind of too expensive for them. And then that's when I'll offer the discount code. And usually then, if they're really into it, then they'll sign up with that discount code. And if you have any coaches that you have signed up that are just like VIP clients or how we call them like discount coaches, you can also reach out to them to see if they're using their codes and if they know a couple of friends or a friend or two that they would want to extend that invitation to. If not, maybe they would share their codes with you so that you can use them as well. And what else? I think that's, does anyone have any questions? I think I covered my process kind of quickly there.
Like Danielle, like just, you know, I'm using you as an example just because, you know, you say that inviting is, you know, something that is hard for you. Like, what do you find hard about it?
I think the fear of bothering people.
Okay.
I think.
Yep.
I already don't post anything on Facebook because I'm just, I don't even know who's following me on Facebook, who, you know what I mean? So I started with Instagram thinking it's a smaller spot and I mean, probably not a good business thing, but I thought I would be more comfortable in Instagram. So, but again, even there, I'm only posting stories. But yeah, inviting people is is hard. And I think it's just because I don't want to get ghosted and I don't want people to think I'm bothering them and whatever. So
Yeah, and you like you say, it's like a fear thing, and that's, that's us, right? That has nothing to do with, and it's okay to get ghosted, right? Like,
yeah.
really, if you think about how you got here, like Danielle, I know Clarissa, you both ghosted me, and now you're both here. You know what I mean? You have to think about it that way, that at the time you weren't ready. Like, I truly believe that you don't really need to be ready. You just need to just try it. And if you fail, you try, you fail, you try, you
Yeah.
fail, but some people really do feel like they need to be ready, and I get that. So I get why, some people ghost, like it happens. And sometimes some people just don't, like, they read your message and then they got to do something else. Like, I don't know how many times these people pick my phone and then I've read something and I didn't really read it.
Right.
I know that Clarissa has really been good at inviting her warm market. I'm not sure if, Clarissa, you have like any little tidbits that you can add, maybe to help Danielle or help any one of us, because even though I've been doing this a while, like, I could always use different types of tips and tricks to, do different types of inviting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know what, to be honest, I'm still like nervous about the inviting thing too. You know, I would just say to Danielle, like, don't think that you're alone. Just like I said in the group the other day, chances are we all either had or have those feelings about being nervous and what if. Um, I would say that, I kind of lucked out a little bit in the sense that one of the girls who, I'll tell you, I like never thought that she would even stick to the workouts. She's like killing it as far as being like my biggest cheerleader. She's calling me every couple of days being like, "Hey, I have this friend. She's really interested." And as much as she says she doesn't want to coach, it's so interesting because she's learning like some of the things that I will say, some of the key messages, like to help motivate people or to keep going, and it's so inspiring. Like, she called me, I know I'm talking about something else, but it just goes to show you that, sometimes the people that you don't think would be interested are the ones that are really going to kill it. And she called me tonight and she was like, "Oh my God, I just have to tell you, I upped my weight and I didn't know if I could do it. And I was able to do this move." And she was so proud, to share that with me. And I said to her, I said, "You know what? I attend these coaching mentorship calls and I just want to let you know, like, I'm working on being the best coach that I can be for everybody. And what I'm learning is that so many people have felt the same way that I do, this roller coaster of like, am I doing the right thing? Is this for me? Am I crazy? Oh yeah, I can do this. I'm a superwoman." Like, that was my story today. And another day it might be something different. And I remember, I can't remember who it was, but on the sisterhood call, when they were saying that, celebrating the success of those women that you're helping, it actually feels so much better than whatever success you have yourself. So, like, Ku is right. I mean, and to sit here, I would be like, well, I don't think I really ghosted her, but I probably did.
Yeah. I know, I feel bad for that. I'm sorry.
But
Don't
at the
be.
same time, like, it wasn't necessarily even intentional, or I was
No.
in my head thinking like, I can do this on my own. I've had Beachbody before. I've gone to the gym. I've done this, da da da, whatever. But it wasn't until that moment happened, where I was like, okay, I'm gonna join in. And I was like very group resistant. I was like, I can't stand these corny ass people, like, I'm not into it at all.
I
But
remember when you
something,
said that. I was like, yeah,
yeah,
no problem. If you want to do this on your own.
and here I am. I'm that corny person, like with my group of people, being that rah-rah cheerleader, but just stick to it. And you know what? I mean, part of this is us learning how to be a better version of ourselves too. That's where the personal development comes in. And I think a big part of it is just challenging yourself to get out of your comfort zone and asking yourself, like, really, at the end of the day, if this person does not answer my message, what does that, like, how does it really impact me? Because it has guaranteed, it has nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, my 2 cents.
And then
Yeah,
personal
that's-
development helps a lot with that too.
And I like the book that you got. I've always wanted to try that book.
Oh,
Danielle, the
It's-
gratitude
I've
book.
only
I've seen
written
it
it
on
once.
Amazon.
yeah, it's cute. It's got like, you fill in the date,
Yeah.
you just,
One of
Okay.
the coaches on Sisterhood, she has it, and I see it in her stories, and it's really nice.
yeah.
And that might help you get started. Once you start writing this stuff down, start doing the personal development. I mean, our mind is a powerful thing. So, there's something else I was going to add, and now I've forgotten it. Did everybody get their codes? Yep, you checked.
Not yet.
No, not
yet?
me
Okay.
either. One of
Waiting.
my DCs did, but I have not.
Okay. Yeah, and definitely. I mean, like, I'm not sure if Sheena or Sarah, did you guys have any other questions?
No, I just got mine code
Okay,
like
awesome.
today.
Yeah,
early.
it came out at about 5, I think. It was supposed to come out yesterday, but I think mine came out around 5.
But I kind
And
of
if you-
struggle with the same thing. Like mine is more so overlap because I
Oh,
Oh,
it
you're muted.
that was Zelda. Stop.
Mm.
My dog is like right here in case you can't see her little so I run around in a lot of similar circles with people. Being a fitness instructor, a lot of my friends are also fitness instructors, coaches, go to the same gyms, like filter in with the same crowd of people. And so it's more like I don't want to double bother. Like if somebody's already hit up someone else. And then also I know myself because I'm very active on social media, be it Instagram, Facebook, etc. And I get bothered by a lot from everything from Modere, Unique, Herbalife, and I'm kind of just, how do you, so for example, like if I've had people approach me about Herbalife, or other programs that also have nutritional shakes, whether it's Arbonne, It Works. I've even done, like I've done It Works this years ago, but how do you compare, or not even compare, but to somebody who's going to ask you like, or bring out why theirs is better, or like how do you kind of get out of that? Because I even know people that used to do Beachbody. There was one girl I know who's out west, and she was so good. Like she was like super high in it, and even went on trips, met Sean, like all that. And then all of a sudden she got out of it, and now she's doing Arbonne. And I was like, I don't understand how a person goes from doing like one to the other, and they were so successful at this, like at Beachbody.
There's so many factors in that. I mean, being an entrepreneur is, like we say, there's a coaster, right? There's many ups, many downs. There are people who, like, even if you, I'm not sure you know that Courtney's coach is Kim Fitzpatrick. She's had to rebuild her team 4 times. She's like a superstar diamond, right? Like there's always going to be that fluctuation. And in this girl's case, it could have been anything. If her team fell apart, or, who knows? It's like with those type of situations, it's you don't want to sit and compare, what, like you put in the chat, in our Let's Get Up chat, how much you love Shakeology. Like, why do you love Shakeology? You're going to talk about those things, because I get the same people asking me about Herbalife, people asking me about It Works, and I tell them what I'm doing, And they're like, well, maybe you want to try this. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty happy with what I'm using right now. And a lot of them are pretty nice about it, because at the end of the day, we're all going to have our things that we love, right? And that's what we're sharing. That's all we're doing is sharing what we love. And if you love it, and if somebody comes back to you and says, no, this is how this is, like with Herbalife and Shakeology, it's hard to compare. Like the ingredients are much different, Isogenics has their own little thing. It's just a matter of you responding back with why you love it. Like they can't do anything with that when you respond that way.
Hmm.
I also find too, one big difference, like, because I used to do Isogenics before Beachbody and Shakeology, like years ago. And one thing I find that's really different about Beachbody is the whole community aspect of like the full
Total solution.
total solution. Like there's nutrition, there's exercise, there's group support, on top of the different supplements. So I find that's a lot different because a lot of the other companies, I found, are more like more supplement driven, versus Beachbody seems like more community driven. It's probably why
And
I prefer it.
if you get something like that, screenshot, put it in the chat. We can sit and we can talk about it and how would you answer this if you receive this kind of thing the next time like you get something like that. And I think that by and that's the best way, is because you're on this journey, is to share it in your stories. Like, with Clarissa, she started sharing it in her stories, and people naturally will just ask, like, Sarah, I'm going to, point you out because of your post that you had a couple of days ago. Even you had a comment of somebody's like, what are you doing? Because your energy radiated through the screen. With you, that little blurb that you wrote, someone saw what you saw in your face and wrote, what are you doing? And right there is a perfect, segue to invite and say, this is what I've been doing. This is how it's made me feel. I'm going to be doing this starting on May 10th. Would you like to try a sample of the program? Done. Send. You know what I mean? And what's she going to say? Yes or no? It's really fun. Here's the sample. And maybe she'll take a look at it. Maybe she won't. But if she says, yeah, I'm going to take a look at the sample in a couple of days, follow up with her. Hey, did you ever get a chance to do the sample? And sometimes they just need a couple of bit of nudging. But if she's asking the question, she's wanting you to invite her for sure. Like everybody on social media is there because they want something, they want to connect with somebody. And it has nothing truly to do with the products. It has to do with you, the person. And that girl connected to you based on your smile and how you were feeling. And she related to you. So yeah, that's pretty much all I think I had to add for inviting. If you guys have like any sort of like other subjects you want to talk about, like Chantel and I had like a lot of social media stuff too. Like I know it's just our first call, so one thing Chantel and I, like, as much as like I love the sisterhood, it is getting big. So I thought like keeping it small, keeping a chat pod small, and Chantel and I are thinking of just doing our own mentorship chat pod now. I know Clarissa was in the one for March, and it can get, overwhelming and bombarded with messages for some people. So I thought we would keep it small. So if you guys have other coaches that may want to join, at least we'll have a small knit group, and then we can go from there. We can still perhaps use the sisterhood calls for mentorship calls. Or if you feel like we can always start our own. Like the one thing about this business is that you can do whatever you want, and what I love about it, so it's yours. It's pretty much ours for the taking, however you want to do it.
I just wanted to ask you, Koo, I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the girl that was saying she works out lots. She's a fitness. Sheena, yes, sorry. Because she was talking about like kind of how does she move outside that market of, because all of the people that she knows are fitness people. And I was just going to say, like, that's kind of tough because I know, like new moms, they have that community to go to that kind of seems like everybody in that would most likely be at a place where they're like, I need to do some kind of fitness and take time for me, whatever. But I guess just I was going to ask her if there was any other like hobbies that you have or like niches, like chunks of people that maybe you could think of that might be interested. Like for me, I started thinking about groups of girlfriends that I know that already have like a really solid community in themselves, and thinking that maybe, reaching out to them as a group and being like, hey, do you think that this is something that you guys want to do together? Because community is such a big part of it. You guys are already halfway there kind of thing. So just, I guess, a suggestion and a question if there's anywhere else that you think maybe you could reach out to people.
Yeah, like you're a dog mom. That's huge.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like I have even in my fitness group, because I have a private fitness group because I've been teaching virtually since the pandemic started. Um, but I know just with even my own classes, I'm hitting a point where at this stage I'm almost burning out. And it's like Chantal was saying, one thing that I'm gravitating towards, and it was the same reason I did Beachbody before, is because there's honestly the market's almost oversaturated right now with virtual classes, everything from Zumba to Pound to HIIT classes. I did some like group weight training, like boot camp style classes, just to kind of give like people a variation, because I just feel like it's becoming just, from the very beginning, I've been posting a daily schedule of everybody's classes, and I shoot myself in the foot every time. Like once it hit to like almost December, I was like, why do I do this? Like I'm just like, because from the very beginning, I had a thing going where I was posting everybody's classes, and I feel like I almost helped everybody else. Do you know what I mean? Like I did, like I was like, instead of like, doing, it's just my natural altruistic attitude is this, and not everybody thinks the same way. And then I was like, if anything, now I've just made it worse. Like, because I just feel like no matter what time of day, like there's always classes. So the good thing about this is I can say to people, oh, I know you're having trouble meeting a 6 o'clock class or
Mm-hmm.
a 7 o'clock class. Or if you work all day, like you can do a workout whenever you want, and you don't have to feel pigeonholed into doing Zumba 4 times a week. Like it's got to be getting old for people. I don't know. Like I am, and I teach it, and I love it. Like I'm passionate about it. So I'm like, if I'm getting if I'm getting bored or I'm feeling whatever, like people have to be like, holy crap! Like how much
And
Zumba can you do?
I
Really?
think that's where you just have
Right?
to,
Like,
the big piece about Beachbody is connection, right? So, and that's where you're having to learn, like, and to talk to people,
yeah.
because these people that you're connecting with now are building your bench to invite to next month. Because when you start connecting with these people, and if somebody's coming to you and saying, I'm having trouble doing this and doing this, and what you what you said right now, what you love about Beachbody is what you just need to bring across, right?
So
But yeah,
maybe
Clarissa
approaching
makes.
it from that angle would be good, because I feel
Yeah.
like, I've even offered here and there like Pilates type classes, like something where people get more stretching. So I think it's good, like in that respect, it can be like, oh, you don't have to do something
Mhm,
hardcore. You can do bar
mhm.
classes, right? And that program is there if they wanted to do that. Or if you want to do like balls to the wall Tabata, have at it, right? Like
And that's
there's
the thing about the
no pain
library,
point.
right? There's a lot in there for all the people that you teach. It's just a matter of like diving into the library, looking at, all the things that we offer that would be able to correlate with those people.
Mhm.
time is it? I think that, oh yeah, because we have a 40-minute window, but I think that this is good, like as a first start, like, and I think that having these type of conversations, we get moving, we get our minds moving, and then we start asking each other questions, and then start being able to support each other and help each other, because that's what this is about, right?
Yeah, and the more inviting you do too, the less scary it gets over time. Like I used to
I
be
remember the
terrified, now
first
I'm not
person I
afraid
invited.
anymore. Sorry, go ahead, Koo.
I said I remember the first person I invited, and I was like, why was I so nervous?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the more you do it, the better you get at it and the less scary it gets. And now I don't even care anymore. I'm like, ghost me, fine, whatever.
On to the
But I think
next,
also,
because
I was just going to say, like, as you build your own community too, like, for example, for me, like after I did the 9-week control freak with Koo, I like jumped right in. I started my own bod group. And I think that having the bod group and like really engaging the people that are working with me as customers, those are the ones that are telling their friends too. So that's another way to invite, right? Like through the people that you're already helping.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, everyone has their code, so try and think about how you're going to use them. You have, I know, Sarah, you got 2, Sheena, you have 1, Danielle, you have 1. Actually, you have 2 because you have Patty. And, I don't know how Patty's doing. That's something that you can connect with. I know Clarissa's got a bunch. I know I'm trying to reach out to my coaches too. So like if we ever start to invite a lot of people, like there's codes to be able to pass around. Like Courtney said yesterday, like no codes left behind. All right, guys?
Yep.
All right, well, oh wait, I wanted to take a picture because I don't.
Yes, right. First team call, we have to get a picture of this.
All right, smile. All right, yeah, at least Chantal has one. All right, ladies.
Right.
It's been a great night.
Night.
We'll
Thank
talk
you.
soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.